The 2023 Australian election saw a wave of promises from political parties vying for power. Among them was a pledge by Anthony Albanese and the Labour Party, a 20% reduction in university fees for most degrees. This ambitious plan, touted as a solution to the student debt crisis, has ignited both hope and scepticism. Could this be the miracle cure for Australia's education woes, or is it merely a well-disguised scam? The promise, if realised, would mean significant financial relief for millions of Australians burdened by student loans. Imagine graduating with $5,500 less debt. But promises are easier made than kept, especially in the complex world of politics and economics. Albanese's proposal seeks to address the rising cost of education and its impact on accessibility and affordability. Before delving into the proposed fee cut, it's crucial to understand the gravity of the situation it aims to address. Australia now faces a student debt crisis of significant proportions. The cost of obtaining a university degree has skyrocketed, leaving graduates saddled with debts that can take years to repay. The average Australian student graduates with a debt of over $25,000, a figure that has doubled in the past 15 years. This impacts not only individuals, but also the broader economy, as graduates delay major life decisions due to financial constraints. The reasons behind this crisis are multifaceted, from reduced government funding to the rising cost of living. The introduction of the Higher Education Contribution Scheme in 1989, while intended to make education more accessible, has shifted the cost burden to students. Albanese's promise, while seemingly straightforward, has nuanced implications. The 20% fee reduction targets most degrees, with specifics yet to be outlined. This ambiguity raises questions about which courses will benefit and which might be excluded. The mechanics involve reducing the upfront cost of education for students. For instance, a course that currently costs $40,000 would be reduced to $32,000. Students will still be required to repay the remaining amount through the existing higher education loan program. The proposed cut in university fees would necessitate a corresponding increase in government expenditure to compensate for the lost revenue for universities. This raises concerns about potential tax hikes or cuts in other essential services to fund this initiative. The success of the fee cut depends on the government's ability to implement it effectively and the response of universities and students alike. Proponents argue that the 20% fee cut presents a much-needed reprieve for students struggling under mounting debt. A reduction in upfront costs could encourage higher enrollment rates, particularly among low-income students. The policy could stimulate economic growth by freeing up income for graduates who can then contribute to the economy. By making education more affordable, the government aims to retain skilled talent within the country, fostering innovation and economic growth. While the potential benefits are undeniable, they are contingent upon careful planning and execution. Despite the potential benefits, the 20% fee cut has drawn its fair share of criticism. One main concern is the potential impact on the quality of education. Universities might be forced to compromise on staffing, resources, and program offerings to offset the lost revenue. This could lead to larger class sizes and fewer academic support services. Another concern is the potential for universities to compensate for the lost revenue by increasing other fees. Critics argue that the policy fails to address the root cause of rising education costs. Furthermore, the policy's focus on current student debtors neglects future generations who will continue to face high education costs. Critics argue that a more sustainable solution would involve increasing government funding for universities and implementing measures to control rising education costs. A comprehensive approach is essential to ensure a sustainable and equitable education system for all Australians. The proposed fee cut has elicited mixed reactions from students across Australia. While some welcome the financial relief, others remain skeptical about its efficacy and long-term implications. Social media platforms have become battlegrounds for debate, with hashtags like #FeeCutMiracle and #AlbaneseScam trending. For many students, particularly those from low-income backgrounds, the fee cut represents a glimmer of hope. The prospect of graduating with less debt is alluring, and some believe that even a small reduction in fees can make a significant difference. However, other students view the policy as a pre-election ploy designed to garner votes. They argue that the fee cut, without addressing the rising cost of living and lack of job security for graduates, does little to alleviate the financial burden. They demand a more comprehensive approach that tackles the root causes of the student debt crisis. The diverse reactions highlight the complexity of the issue and the need for a nuanced approach. The 20% fee cut, while a campaign promise, is far from a done deal. It faces a long journey before it can be implemented, fraught with political hurdles and logistical challenges. The first hurdle is securing parliamentary approval, which is not guaranteed. The opposition might oppose it, leading to delays and potential amendments. Assuming the policy passes through Parliament, the next challenge lies in its implementation. Universities faced with reduced funding will need to adjust their operations. The government will need to work closely with universities to ensure a smooth transition. Furthermore, the government will need to develop a robust system for monitoring the policy's effectiveness. This includes tracking enrollment rates, student debt levels, and the financial stability of universities. The road to implementing the fee cut requires careful planning, collaboration, and a commitment to transparency and accountability. Albanese's 20% university fee cut is a bold policy initiative that has sparked both hope and skepticism. While it holds the potential to alleviate the financial burden on students, it also raises concerns about its long-term impact. The policy's success hinges on a multitude of factors, including its implementation and the response of universities. It's crucial to approach this policy not as a silver bullet solution, but as one piece of a larger puzzle in addressing the challenges facing Australia's education system. We must engage in informed debate, considering the perspectives of all stakeholders, and prioritizing long-term solutions for a high-quality, accessible, and sustainable education system for all Australians.